We got a busy day here. It's been a busy day. It's going to be a busy day. Welcome to our show. Jack Riccardi on 550 and 107.1 KTSA. We're asking about the mayor's race today because we're talking to one of the candidates for mayor. There are a couple of dozen of them out there. And joining us now on the KTSA Newsmaker line is Dr. Tim Westley, who's a pastor and a veteran and an educator and running for mayor. And Dr. Westley, thank you for coming on, and good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. You're welcome.
What got you into the race? What was the genesis or the moment that decided it for you?
Ultimately, just looking at the direction San Antonio has been going over the last several years, and knowing that when I came here 29 years ago, I saw a San Antonio that I decided to get out of the military, off of active duty, and make it home. That San Antonio that attracted me not only to come here, but to stay here, does not look the same today, and not in a positive way. And so with that being said, I wanted to make sure that my children and their children and future generations can have a San Antonio they can be proud of and call home. And that prompted me to go ahead and get in this race so I can do something right now about tomorrow.
I'm always kind of struck by the gap between what people say they need and what the city politicians think they need. I mean, the big project of the moment is this massive downtown reimagining, the Marvel project with, billions of dollars being thrown around. And I thought it was ironic that this very progressive city council is actually tearing down and eliminating affordable housing just west of downtown in order to build a sports complex. I mean, it seems to me like we go through this every 2 years. The people say we want sidewalks and safety, and the politicians think we want rainbow crosswalks and, pie-in-the-sky development projects.
Yes. Ultimately, one of the things I've noticed since I've been on this particular campaign trail, I've gone to my good share of homeowners association meetings. And what I found, if we truly want to hear the heartbeat of what the people want, places like that is where we need to be. The last couple I've gone to, we've had SAPD there. We've had people from the Department of Human Services there. And we've had, more importantly, the citizens of San Antonio there. And so we're at a point now where the citizens are speaking, but the politicians down at City Hall are not listening. As you say, the citizens during one of the last surveys in 24-25, they stated that homelessness was one of the most important concerns and issues of the city. So as the next mayor, one of the first things I'm going to do is meet with my city council, whomever is elected, to discuss moving forward, not only the vision moving forward, but how is it that we can best serve the citizens? And one thing I'll tell them right off, I'm going to encourage them, rather, to have town hall meetings so not only they will go out into the city and meet with the constituents, but I will accompany them so that we can hear not only the heartbeat of the citizens, but actually do what we have been elected to do, and not what big bankers or anyone else is trying to get the city to do, but what we, the people, have elected us to do.
How do you see the challenge of DOGE and the new administration for the city of San Antonio, Dr. Westley? Because obviously the Nirenberg administration was very simpatico with the Biden administration, and they worked with them on a lot of things. But it's a new day. There's a new sheriff in D.C. How would you face that challenge?
Well, I would look at it as a positive. So what we see, of course, when you start off with something like DOGE and you see it as a big paintbrush, it's, of course, you're going to have some hiccups along the way. That's obviously going to happen. San Antonio needs its own version. As we consider some of the waste and abuse that have taken place here, we can look no further than VIA. They've spent $5.2 million in 2017 on the Scobie complex. Via our bus line, our transportation line, they decided that they were going to venture off into affordable homes. And what happens? That $5.2 million property sits empty, and we've had a price tag of $489,000 in repairs and maintenance over the last few years. In addition to that, VIA, once again, they're moving towards the Green Line, which they're not listening to the people. That Green Line is a rapid transit system that's going to be going down San Pedro from the airport to downtown, Highway 90. This is $480 million. And the people are saying they don't want it. So we see waste taking place, and we see this taking place right before our eyes, yet the citizens are speaking and city council is not listening. And one other project I'll tell you about that's been pretty recent here with San Antonio is the Migrant Resource Center. What happened? San Antonio has cost us $35 million. And what do we find out over the last 24 hours? $13 million of that has been frozen by FEMA because of concerns about illegal activities taking place at that MRC. Things like that, we need to not only look at that, but I want to make sure that we have our own version of the DOG here. I want to make sure that on day one, I'm speaking with the city manager, Eric Walsh, and I'm making sure we're looking at our budget, looking at our books, looking at wasteful spending such as that I've just discussed, looking at detailed audits of all departments, and also looking at independent audits. And things like that has to happen with San Antonio, or else we're going to continue to find ourselves digging deeper and deeper into debt.
Now, we're talking with Dr. Tim Westley on KTSA. You're in a very crowded field. The goal at this point for candidates is to make a runoff. In a very crowded field where a large plurality of voters say they have no idea who they're going to vote for, money is a big thing. Getting your name out there is a big thing. How well set up are you against some very heavily funded candidates? Governor Abbott's PAC backing one of them, Nelson Wolff endorsing another one. How are you set up to compete with that?
Sir, last time I recall talking with you and speaking with you, I was on an interview at that time. I don't know if you remember. I was running for a Texas land commissioner. During that time, as the land commissioner candidate, there were a total of 8 candidates in the race. I was the last to enter that race. Of those 8 candidates, 6 of them went home. I went on to a runoff. Of those 6, they spent an upwards of $500,000. I spent at that time about $10,000, yet I went to the runoff. How did that happen? Because ultimately, it was not just about the money. It was about listening to we the people, making sure that they heard my voice not only through social media, but also through grassroots efforts. Those grassroots efforts, many people may not realize it, but they're still real. They're still active, making sure that we go off the 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread mentality. I still believe as a person of faith, I've seen it in that race, I'm seeing it in this race, that we've learned how to beat money. If you look at the last polling that was done with UTSA, we have one candidate who raised the most money on the first reporting cycle, and we raised just a fraction, and I do mean a fraction of yet we doubled that person in the polling. How did we do that? Because of grassroots efforts, because of making sure that the average everyday person that we're getting out and meeting at association meetings, et cetera, they're passing the word and things of that nature. So we're using old school tactics, and we're also operating from faith, and we're seeing a lot of great activity taking place, and the numbers are showing it, and they're going to show even more come May 3rd.
All right. And Dr. Westley, where can people go online to find out more about you or to join your campaign?
They can find out more at www.texans4tim.com. Again, that's Texans4tim.com. And as I've told them once, I'll tell them a million times, San Antonio first, San Antonio forever. Once again, Dr. Tim, I'm number 7 on the ballot for mayor.
All right, Dr. Tim Westley. Thank you for coming on. I hope we get to talk again. Appreciate your time today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the time as well. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you as well. So we heard from Dr. Tim Westley, and we're asking you on today's River City Oral Surgery JR poll, do you know yet who has your vote for San Antonio mayor? There's about 30 candidates. I think that's why he said he was the 7th on the 7th line, or number 7 in the list. Because, I mean, these candidates are going to have to tell you where to find them on a ballot that's going to be crowded. And it would seem inevitable that there will be a runoff. So really the race at this point is to make that runoff. UTSA did a survey earlier this month on the election, found that nobody was outside of single digits. The top tier was the most familiar names, basically the people that you've heard of before, like Gene Ortiz-Jones, John Courage, Manny Pelaez, Clayton Perry, a few newcomers, a few from city council, Dr. Westley, I think, was in their top 10. But again, these are all single-digit, very splintered support. And I would venture to say there's a lot of people that can name a name but may not be 100% invested in that candidate as of yet. So we'll be catching up with some of them as we go along. We'll be talking a little bit about the city council races as well, and obviously about the issues. Although we choose on this show to talk about the issues that people actually talk about, and the politicians seem to run on virtue signaling issues, things about getting the city of San Antonio on the right side of history and reimagining the past and reparations for the, that's their language. That's the currency of politics these days. But at the heart of any city, you're just trying to make things work. City government is about how people live, not about who they love. And it's about sidewalks and lights and potholes and safety. And so we'll talk about those things as we go along here and get your thoughts on that. Your thoughts about Tim Westley at 210-599-5555.